If you're interested in learning more about BetAngel, its tools and the opportunities they present, then why not visit betangel.com today and download a free trial.
So I thought I'd do this quick video for you just to show you the flexibility of BetAngel and how you can increase the scope and scale of the amount of trading that you do with it. And it's using the clever little tool called Guadian. Well, I say little, it's pretty much a piece of software in its own right. It does so much. Hopefully I can give you a slight hint of what you can do from here. So if we click on Guadian, you can see it's a blank space. Depending upon how fast you want to refresh the markets, you can refresh them up to 20 milliseconds at a time if you want, or a bit slower if you're not that interested in it. But we'll start with the simple stuff. If we go to Quick Picks, we can bring in today's racing. So if I click on Add there is today's racing. You can see that that's flying in through there. And of course we could actively trade this or jump into a market or do something of interest in that particular market. So for example, if we want to look at Wolverhampton, we can just double click on that and that will transport us to Wolverhampton, and then we can start actively trading it and doing whatever we wish in that particular market. Now, because we're actively on that market, we can actively be trading that, and Guardian will still be ticking away in the background. Guardian works as a background tool, and it will continue to do anything that you instruct it to while all of that is going on. So let me get rid of the markets for tomorrow, because I'm interested in the markets from today. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark these, and we're going to go to the watch list, and we're going to add these markets to watch list 1. So if I add selected markets to watch list 1 and then display the watch list, you'll see that we now actually have today's racing stuck on a watch list, and I can truncate the view of that or make it bigger, larger, or just look at the individual races and sort them by volume. I can do all of those wonderful things. So if I can either visit the market by clicking on here or by clicking on Guardian and go backwards and forwards and into the market. And like I just said, we were looking at the next race at Wolverhampton, so it's very easy to flick backwards and forwards between each of those and to do all of those things. Now, however, there is some football on tonight, and I'd quite like to trade the football. So tonight we have Doncaster and Portsmouth. So if I just search for Doncaster and Portsmouth, or I could just search for Doncaster, I could search for Portsmouth, I could search for any variation on that, then you can see we've got all of the markets there. So I'm interested in the over and under 2.5 goal market, the correct score market, and the match odds market. So that little icon here tells you that you can use this particular match in Soccer Mystic, and we won't go into that in this video. That's another feature you may want to look at. But what you can also do with BetAngel is you can see up here it says Excel Automation Watch. So maybe if I want to keep an eye on what's going on in those markets, I can add them to another watch list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them to watch list 2. And we will pop that up. Nope, no we won't, because I haven't added them. So we will add and then display that watch list. There you go. That was slightly amateur of me really then. And you can see again we've got all of the markets available here. So we've got all the markets in Guardian if we want to, but we can also view them through watch lists. Now the thing is, I actually would like to look at the tennis as well. So if I go into, you could do that a number of ways. You can go into the markets tree and search for tennis, and then you can see we've got all of the bits and bobs from there. Or again, if you go into here, you can see it's got tennis and match odds. So if we search for tennis and match odds, there are all the matches that we're interested in. So if we add in Murray and Almagro, and there are a couple of matches underway at the moment as well. So this match is underway, if I understand. I'm just trying to think what else. Is there anything else interesting? There's probably a few things going on. But again, in the same way that we worked previously, I can bring up watch list 3, add the selected markets to that watch list, and then we can display that watch list. And you can see we now have the tennis. So maybe I'm not interested in the football at this moment in time, but I am interested in the tennis. So we can pop the tennis up there. And what we can actually do here as well, is we can display the tennis scores next to it. So perhaps we just want to expand that slightly and see what's actually going on in those particular matches. Need a slightly wider screen here actually. There you go. So we can keep an eye on the score, and we can we'll widen that to make that sort of fit in a similar way. Up to you how you want to do it. Or maybe you could display, you know, the next watch list parallel to that as well, or something. But anyway, you've got all three watch lists up there. You've got them all within Guardian. It's up to you how you want to configure that. But the interesting thing about this is we've only used the watch area. We've used the markets area of Guardian, which allows us to search for markets, sort them by volume, look at when they're starting, and all of these sort of things. You know, there's so many different things that you can do here. The watch list area of Guardian we've used to create this view of what's going on within these markets. In fact, why don't I pop that down there? That would seem to make sense. And then we've got other functions within here as well. So the interesting thing is you can actually bind those markets to Excel. So if you want to operate on those markets through a spreadsheet, it's possible to do multiple markets on multiple spreadsheets through Guardian. In the main application, we actually do have, I'm just going to bring up the main application for you here. We do actually have an Excel tab that links it to the market that you're actively trading. So if we decided to trade this market, we fired up Excel, that would trade that particular market through Excel and on the ladder. So you can have them on the ladder, on Guardian, and in the watch lists simultaneously. But you can also join up all of the markets into one giant workbook if you like, or individual areas, maybe all of the tennis matches, all of the horse racing, all of the football matches, all the football markets, and whatever into one giant spreadsheet. You can do that through Guardian. So on the main application, it's designed to focus on that one market that you're trading, but in Guardian you can fill it up with loads of other markets. So you can trade on racing, you can have all the markets within Excel, and you can have them all within Guardian as well. But where things really come into their own is if you look at the automation. The automation allows you to automate all sorts of different types of activity. Again, you'd need to watch the automation video to really get the gist of this, but you can see I've preloaded loads of automation here. And what we could do is, for example, we can look at Chelmsford at 1845 and we could link a spreadsheet to it, or we could actually link automation to it. So if we go into Chelmsford, we can do it in running or before the off. So I'm going to do a directional scalping pre-off. And you can see you can nominate selections within the market if your script has been designed to allow you to do that. If the rules file allows you to nominate a particular selection. But also, there's no reason why you couldn't link that to an Excel sheet, something to automation. And on the next race, you could actually just do something in running because you've selected something that is of particular interest in running in that particular market. But also, you could go in and do something on tennis. So maybe we want to initiate one of the tennis scripts within here. So you can see we've got trade the first score, breakpoint, trade the serve using delayed bets, and so on and so forth. So you can actually apply a rule to that particular market, and then of course you can nominate which player you want that to apply to. And for the football, then of course you can go into there and do some of your magic on the football as well. So if we actually look at here, we've got a Dutch the correct score bot, and maybe we're interested in some other aspect of the match as well. So perhaps we want a signal or an alert when a goal has been scored. So we can do that as well. So what you're actually looking at here is Guardian itself will control all of this. It will control the watch lists, it will control the automation rules that are going on, and if you've got Excel linked up as well, it will work through Excel. So you can run something on Excel through Guardian, you can run automation rules on different markets and different sports simultaneously, but on top of all of that, you can actually be looking at your main app and trading another market. So if I move all of this sort of stuff out of the way here, we can be actively trading this, but because we've got all of this functionality loaded within Guardian, that's going to be working in the background as well. So it gives you a huge scope to do many different things simultaneously. And this is something that we've been building on and continually adding to over the years, but it's getting more and more detail and ability within it. And with the addition of the streaming, the advantage that you've got, it can cycle through the markets incredibly quickly. So that makes it an even better tool, because it can just cycle through all of these markets, apply all of these rules, do something in Excel, display it on the watch list while you're actively trading another market. So this is a feature within BetAngel that's pretty much a product in its own right. We could probably just split out the manual trading functionality of BetAngel and have Guardian as a fully automated tool, and that would almost be its own product. But the great advantage with BetAngel Professional is that you get all of that within the mix, as well as all of these additional tools that you see up here as well, to the right of Guardian. So yeah, if you've never used it before, or you've never seen it used that way, I wanted to do this video just to show you some of the potential that you can get when you use tools like Guardian to the fullness of their ability. Very flexible, allows you to do many different things, and that will increase the scope and scale of trading. So if you're interested in tennis, for example, but you don't know how to trade it, you can download some of the rules that we have available on our forum. There are loads of them, and you can actually get Guardian to go in and place some trades for you, and you can learn and understand what's going on from that. Or perhaps you want to trade tennis and you want to automate some of the horse racing stuff. It'll allow you to do that as well. So incredibly flexible, incredibly powerful tool, and I recommend that it's something you should familiarize yourself with if you want to get the best out of your trading.